up.
I mean, if you guys want to move on to another area to campaign in, it is possible eventually, but everything you built here is going to be lost. So all your homes, all your families, right? You'll have to start a new area and start from scratch. Of course, we've been losing a lot lately, but I mean, we already know the reason, right? We'll have to start winning. That's it. Um, I did put on some markers on the map recently just to show you where all the different armies are, right? So, as you already know, one grid is about 3 miles and can support maybe a population of 1,000 people or 10,000 people, depending on the size of settlement. And of course, it's like, I guess, technological advancement, right? This is a town here, so it should support a surrounding population of about 10,000 people or 1,000 soldiers or 100 adventurers, right? We don't really account for any adventurers, of course, because you guys are the adventurers in the area. But every marker should indicate one army, which has a size of maybe about supports about 100 troops. So you can tell that down has maybe 100 in its town itself, 100 to the west, 100 to the north. But our main focus in the campaign is to either defend down against these approaching enemy forces, right? Fighting for the territory, or we can of course focus on our only winning war, which is to the north, right? A foreign war, far from the main town, right? Which adventurers were originally in charge of winning this battle, right? So you can see the war is about to be won. If we can just pull in our focus, these are all dwarven territories. The only kobold territory left is the caves. Once we clear them out of the caves, or force them to surrender, then of course the grid will be ours, right? And we can start settling these lands, right? Of course, the underground will always belong to the kobolds, possibly, but the war will continue until we can clear them out of level 1, right? And they can be in level 2, it's fine, but as long as they're cleared of level 1 and all access points are closed off, the enemy, of course, give in and no longer want to attack, make a deal with, of course, down to not attack anymore, then that's when we actually win, and we can see ourselves making some more progress into different levels of the campaign. But that's just to answer Gold's question. He was wondering what we're supposed to do at the moment, right? Because he sent a few crews out on suicide missions, right? Some of them went for dragons, some of them went for goblins, some of them went for, you know,
I would like
raiders
to
on
note
the
the
coast.
dragon one almost succeeded.
Right. I mean, against one dragon maybe, but not against the others. So you would have gotten one kill, and then the rest of your crew would have died and got nothing out of it anyway. Okay.
Wouldn't we have gotten the experience points?
Yeah, you would have gotten some experience. I don't think it would have added up too much though. Let's see. Because naturally you wouldn't get much from it. You'd get 10% with value. So once you died, of course. If you got away alive, then the experience matters a lot more. But you were bound to die that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so
Anyway,
I'm clear,
yeah.
just so I'm clear, two options is either we go into the cave and clear that out, or we fight the wolf, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can do
It's kind
lots
of
of
like the
different
main two
things,
options.
but those are the main ways you're gonna advance the campaign or progress, right? Naturally, your job is adventures to hunt monsters and treasures, and the lowest level place you can do that right now is the kobolds. But everyone wants to fight orcs and bandits instead, so or morlocks and such, right? Every group is different, so we'll see what your group wants today. Okay. Um, yeah, we will be starting from more than likely down, or of course the kobolds.
Sorry.
So, bless you.
Thanks.
But before we start, of course, we're gonna get every player ready. Make sure you guys have what you need to start playing. So, we'll go down the list and begin with Gold. Gold, do you want to continue as Odin the second?
I want to continue as Odin the Second, yes.
Alright, sounds good. I'll grab your record. Do you have anything you need to prepare?
Besides my dignity, no.
Very well. Let's see. let's. Do you want to do some healing real quick? It would cost you 1 copper.
Yes. Yes.
So you were able to heal 1 T3 plus 1 hit points. Go ahead, roll /roll space 1d3. After a day of rest, 24-hour period. With
True.
food. Okay. Yep, you healed 3 hit points total, so you're at 7 now. Alright, now do you want to hire any
Yes.
new characters? Okay. You can roll 1 new character.
That is a very. Oh my god. Okay. 8, 7, 11, 10, 12, 13.
Okay, what class?
What would you recommend here? Thief?
Thief or cleric?
You always recommend cleric. Well, let's go with a thief.
Okay,
1d4 for health.
that's right.
2,
3d6 for
health.
money.
8.
Okay, so besides lockpicks and a 10-foot pole, what else would you like? You've got
Short ranged.
2 coppers left. We can get you a sling and stones.
That's fine.
Alright, and lastly, your thief's name. What would you like to name it?
Zeus?
You said Zeus?
Yeah.
Didn't you already have a Zeus?
I've had 2 Zeuses. That would be Zeus the 3rd.
Very well. Just make sure. Yeah, okay. The last Zeus of the Zeus family name. Let's see. Or the, yeah, last of the 3 Zeuses, the youngest. Okay. And then Lana, do you want to play as Elsie or someone else?
Yeah, is she alive? I can't remember what we did last time.
Let's see. Looks like she's still alive. Yep. She
What did we do? I don't remember.
ventured out to hunt greenskins, and they managed to find some loot. Looks like. I don't know if they
Okay.
killed any greenskins, but they found loot. It says they secured parts of some of the exits before they looted offerings and trinkets, and a small trapped lockbox, which had jewelry in it. The jewelry was very valuable.
Okay, perfect.
So that group was pretty successful. They went treasure hunting. Okay. So as Elsie, do you need to purchase any gear?
Oh, what have I got?
67
Have I
coppers.
got- Have I got rations? Yeah. Torches. You suggest anything?
Let's see. You might want yourself a missile weapon. So like a bow and arrows.
Have we got a fighter?
Not yet.
So maybe not a bow and arrow?
Okay. Maybe a better melee weapon. You've just got a spear at the moment. And a dagger.
Yes. What's better than a spear?
Do you mean to have another close combat weapon or a longer polearm type weapon?
Can I get like maybe a sword?
Sure. It will cost
Would
8
be
coppers.
Is it better than a spear? Is it
Uh,
better than a spear in terms of...
In terms of reach, no. But in terms of damage, yes. Close combat, yes.
Okay. I'll get one then, please.
Alright, you're down to 59.
Can I get something to sling it?
Yep, it's a sheathed sword. It's got a scabbard.
Oh, okay, perfect. Alright, that should be it then. Please.
Okay. Do you want to create a new character to hire? You're allowed 1 new character per game.
How much are they?
They'll cost you a share of your spoils, that's it. This one's free to hire. It's a family member.
Oh, okay. Yeah, can I get them as a fighter maybe then?
Sure. Do you want to roll it up in the dice rolls, or do you want me to just roll it on the board?
Can you roll it, please?
Sure, yeah. It might be quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, this one only has 1 hit point, sadly.
Oh, 1 hit point.
He's a very
okay.
young fighter. Let's see. He has very little gear, so we'll start him with a bow, at the very least. Alright. What would you like to... Do you want to name it, or do you want a random name for him?
Random names are always so bad.
Sure.
Sparrow? We'll go for Sparrow.
Alright then.
Can I give him 1 extra hit point with the money from Elsie?
Yep, you can spend 10 and train him. So.
It's like 10 and then 20, right?
Yeah, so it's just 10 here to give him a hit point increase. The options are either +1, the average of his hit die, or a full reroll. So I would suggest the average or a full reroll. The average is 4, by the way.
Can I do average then?
Okay. Alright. And then that's it, right? For your character. You hired Sparrow.
Bank the couple pieces, maybe?
Okay.
Thank you. Don't want to lose it.
Right. Okay, that's fine. Alright, Lo, do you want to continue as BERIM or someone else?
Yeah, let's continue with BERIM, and I'm ready to go.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I got 1 retainer, I believe.
Yeah, you want to hire him again?
Yeah, I want to rehire him.
Sounds good. Yep. So every time we end an adventure, we have to do a loyalty check to see if he will continue working under you as a retainer. So accepts. All right. Yep.
You want me to roll or do you roll?
I just rolled for him, so.
Oh, okay.
He accepted your offer. Yeah, you're good. Okay. Let's see. So your team is pretty much ready. Oh yeah, sorry, Lo, you're also allowed to roll a new character per game, right? Did you want to roll another character and hire it?
Nah.
No?
We're good. Let's just go.
6-man team. Alright, sounds good. So we just finished
6-man.
Preparations, so we'll take a small break. When you get back, we'll start playing. So take 5.
I just realized, and I do this every time afterwards. Does anyone have a pickaxe or something in case we need to break something?
No.
I do this every time. That's fine. I can probably pry something with a dagger, right?
I mean, yeah, you can mostly use daggers for that kind of thing.
Okay, good. If there's anything in the wall, we could probably grab a little bit of it.
Yeah. Lana.
Yeah?
Do you like old school or do you prefer 5e?
So, this is the only type of D&D I've played.
Okay.
So I don't know the difference.
Okay.
Funnily enough, I discovered this when I was craving to play D&D, but not Baldur's Gate, because I got fed up with it.
Ah.
I feel like there's not really any good D&D type of games within, like, video games, you know?
I agree with that.
I said I feel like there's no good D&D type of games which are video games, like Baldur's Gate. I think that's the only one that kind of itches the unitchable itch, does that make sense?
Yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 is the very pinnacle of D&D gaming. There's not going to be anything like it ever.
Did you hear that they're coming up with a new one?
They said that Baldur's Gate 3 would be the last in the series, but I don't know if they'll keep to their word, considering the fact they won, like, what, 15 prizes?
So, LAIR Studios, which is the people who originally made, like, Baldur's Gate, right? They're completely done. They're going for new projects and stuff. However, a different studio said they're picking up where they left off and they're going to make a Baldur's Gate 4. But people aren't happy with it. People are not happy.
The thing is, yeah, I understand why, because one, you don't have the original team working on it. Two, there's no contraception that it might be good or bad. Yep. I mean, do you know how long they worked on Baldur's Gate 3?
A very long time. It only just recently
7 years.
Finished. Yeah. No, I know. A very long time.
7 years they worked on Baldur's Gate 3. That's nuts. Because GTA 5 was like made in 2 years.
Yeah, but I feel like that's what happens when you have a team that truly cares about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, even the smallest details are correct.
It's the same as Hollow Knight. What's it called? The new one? Hollow Knight.
I don't know about that.
The Silk Song. Hollow Knight Silk Song. Do you know how many people are on Hollow Knight Silk Song?
A lot of people play it, or do you mean developers?
Developers. Do you know how many people are actually in the development? Do you want to guess?
Say like 2.
You're close. It's free.
Oh, really?
It took them, from what I've heard, like 5 years to create this game, grounds up. And to be fair, they fucking nailed it, because they broke every single internet store there is. Steam went down. Nintendo went down. Everybody went down. They had a peak score rating of 250 players playing at the same time.
Right. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Especially when it's only 3 people who develop it. Do you know how much money that pumped that way?
Oh yeah. So much money.
I've also heard rumors that they're going to make a new Minecraft movie. A secondary, a sequel.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen.
They're making a sequel.
It's been 5 minutes, so let's get started. Thanks for your patience. So last we left off in the campaign, the party ventured out northeast of DELN into the goblin territories, past the river, and of course came across a goblin trench. And upon retreat, over half of them were either killed or captured. One of the survivors, ODIN, who's been leading most of the adventures recently, will be joining us and possibly even leading us today. Well, actually, the most experienced members in your team who should be leading our team today are either Elsie, the Elven veteran, or BERIM, the veteran, with one experience point each, so they've had some success in the past, right? So, to continue off from where we left off, your party is in the town of DELN. And of course, you have formed a small team of 6 to set out on an adventure. You're going to go somewhere in these lands to hunt monsters or treasures, or both. There's many places you might visit, but as you can tell, I've updated the map to indicate or show, because as requested, some people were wondering where the enemy armies were and how large their groups were. I've indicated where the different armies stand on the campaign map now, in case you want to go to war now, right? If you want to continue with the usual dungeon delving, the nearest dungeon to you is of course these caves north of DWARF, where the kobolds are. There are some other places you could visit, of course, like the caves that the orcs and goblins are at. You might go to the Undead Ruin Temple to the southeast. You might visit the Great Mountains to the north, where the great old fortress resides, where the dragons, of course, live. There are many places you could try, but the closest one, of course, are these caves north of DWARF, right? Highly recommended for smaller teams, right? Who want to go monster hunting. But of course, for the war, if you're interested in going to war today, DELN is enlisting or commissioning anyone who is interested in fighting the wars to either the south, the east, or even the north, right? For the north, they're mainly hiring adventurers to hunt goblins and such, kobolds actually, in the caves. Soldiers, mercenaries and such don't go down caves, only adventurers typically do, right? Very dangerous, close quarters combat, right? Let's see. But out here in the open fields, right, they'll need men to defend and attack enemy positions, or defend friendly positions and attack enemy positions, right? So, what do you guys think you want to do today as a team?
I think we should go for the cave.
Same.
I agree.
Yeah,
Right.
we're gonna go for the cave then.
So, in that case, after making plans, Elsie has suggested and has been agreed upon that we should head north, right, to the Kobold caves. There are many ways you might get there, but the next course of action is to determine your course of travel. So, you can either take the road northeast, maybe northwest. You can maybe try to move through the friendly territories first, cross the river somehow, and continue through friendly territories to the Kobold lands. You might take the risk to venture into enemy territories temporarily, so you don't have to cross the river, and then use the bridges here to get across the river. There are 2 ways you can get across this river without having a boat or a raft or something like that. This is a major river, of course. It's a very wide river that flows into lakes and such and all that. This part, of course, the downstrand of the river, and the only way to cross it from here is this bridge, which you can cross it into friendly lines, but beyond that point, you'll be moving through enemy territory as the other group did yesterday. So I suggest, if you don't want to run into green hubs or goblins, you're gonna go to the mountains where the Morlocks are for a bit, and then of course hopefully you can avoid them and continue across this bridge up here. What do you think?
I think we should go along the river, not into it. Go up to the mountains.
I think we should follow where it's safe. So yeah, up the mountain, up that way, up to Istanbul or whatever it says up there, and go to the kobolds through that way, Istanman. Because Yeah.
I've also got good knowledge of this place because I went all the way up to the old temple, so that'll be handy. We shouldn't get lost. Fingers crossed.
Alright then. So, after looking over maps and plans, stay at your base camp. You will set out early in the morning after some breakfast. Whenever you go traveling, it's a good idea to stock up on rations and feed your team so that they are ready for a fight at any point, right? Every day that you wake up, you'll need to have breakfast, otherwise you will have the hunger penalty in the game. Going adventuring without food can be very costly on your team, right? So, to feed your crew, you'll only need 6 pounds of sustenance. We can use rations or food. What do you guys prefer? I think we only have rations, actually. We can use 3 of ODINs and 3 of Elsies to make it fair. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'll feed the team. So before we set out today, we have breakfast before 8. And at 8 o'clock, we're able to depart and begin the day's work. So, the course travels northwest through friendly territories, across the plains beyond the walls of DELN, into the countryside, and eventually into the mountains. So from down all the way to the mountains, that's roughly 2 miles, maybe 2.5, maybe 3 once you get into the mountains. But to just arrive at the mountains is about 2.5 miles. Okay, so your party's moving at the rate of 2 miles an hour. Should take you about a little over an hour to get to the mountains. During your travels, we do have to roll a few dice to determine if you come across any wandering monsters. It's a low chance. Typically it's a 1 in 6 chance per day. Per hour it's 1 in 6 times 1 in 8. So if these 2 dice indicate a 1, you get an hour, or you get an encounter at this hour. Right. Alright, so safe travels. Right. A day's shift is about 8 hours. You're just marching through the day shift, which began at 8 o'clock, and at 9 o'clock you should arrive at the mountains. So no monsters were encountered, fortunately. There's also a chance to encounter any wild animals, and a chance to encounter the usual people of DWARF, right? You've safely ventured across the lands. At 9 o'clock, you arrive at the mountains, right? And then from here, you can continue your march through the mountains north toward the bridge, I guess, right? Unless you plan to visit ISTAN, or the village of ISTAN.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's the chance that we're gonna blow through our rations?
Not that high.
So you eat yeah, it's not very high, but your adventure shouldn't last more than a few hours in the caves, and then you'll head out. And plus, there's a place you can stock up on rations there. It's not as cheap,
okay.
But it's not unaffordable either, right? Might cost you twice as much, but I'm sure you guys have enough funds. Plus, if you're successful in the caves, you should have plenty. Let's see. Alright, so your crew will continue. And yeah, to give you an idea of how much you eat a day, every adventurer eats 3 pounds of food a day. If you're not adventuring, your character is taking care of themselves. So they're either working a part-time job, right, that allows them to sustain their way of life until you come back to adventure, right? Usually they just no longer adventuring, but they'll take a normal job on the side, right? Make enough money to sustain themselves. Right. If not a job, they're just going out foraging and hunting and surviving, basically, per day. So, alright. So your crew continues through these treacherous mountains in hopes of not encountering any Morlocks, the rumored monstrous men that live out here in these mountains. Typically, they don't attack during the day, so you should be alright. As you venture through these mountains, we're gonna make a check for wandering monsters again. Okay, we're gonna check for any large game, if you're interested. And we'll check for any Morlocks. Right, after roughly an hour or 2 through the mountains, actually 2 hours, you make it to the road at 11 o'clock. So it's getting close to lunch hour, right? Let's see. So at 11 you arrive at the road in the valley of the mountains, and then you can continue through and along the road out through the mountains and into the eastern plains, right, of these mountains, right? So you're venturing down the road, you're moving through dwarven territories now. When you got to the bridge, by the way, there's a gatehouse on each side. The western house belongs to ISTAN, right? You find soldiers, a small garrison here. On the eastern half, you find dwarves, okay? So, these are an allied group of dwarves, right? Living among the men of ISTAN, to the east of the river and the eastern mountains. Alright. But they are friendly and allow you to pass without any issues. They do warn you of the ongoing wars to the east, right? They tell you that the wars to the east is still being conducted and still very much somewhat dangerous, right? The kobolds, their resistance have been very strong recently, due to a lack of further efforts, right? You know, the armies there can only maintain the position, but it's up to adventurers like yourselves to actually take back the caves or clear them out. So the kobolds' resistance is growing, right? And they're starting to fight back and resupply their armies, right? They've been given time to basically retake the caves, right? Since we have not been hunting them recently. So just a warning, right? You're going to be entering into somewhat fresh enemy territory again, right? Lost territories. But you venture down the road all the way to the caves, right? So this should be an easy stretch. These are all friendly territories. The last stretch of your march. That's about a mile or 2 miles, yeah. You guys in these areas march at 2 miles an hour, so it should be an hour later when you arrive at the siege camp, just outside the caverns. No monsters encountered, no wild game sighted, and no troops spotted either. An uneventful march down the road. At 12 at noon on this fall day in October, you reach the siege camp. Your crew is quite hungry, they need lunch now, and you have enough food to feed the group upon arriving at the siege camp, just south of the caves. So we'll stop here and have a little rest and meal then, and while your characters eat, you guys can discuss further plans on how you want to approach the caves or which entrance if you'd like. I'll give you guys maybe a 3-minute break just to give the idea that your characters are having a break now, right? Okay. You're welcome to chit chat if you need to or make plans, but food is being eaten.
Any ideas?
I say we plow into there. All the way up to where we were, because I was here before, and I think what the dwarves do is that they guard the progress that each adventuring party does. So I think we're in there like 2 rooms deep.
Okay.
And then from there, we don't know what's going to happen. That's the extent of what I know.
Okay, we'll do that then. We'll just go in it.
Yeah, there's a few things I think in the beginning. I beware of green slime, by the way, because I know that's around. That was the last time I was there.
Great. Okay. Is it poisonous or is it just slippy?
Oh, it's acidic. It'll burn your clothes off and then burn your skin off and then get into your bones. And then it eventually gets into your bloodstream and it'll go and eat your brain while you're still alive.
I'm sorry, slimes?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, no one touched the slime on the ground at all.
Yeah.
You can burn them.
Yes. You can burn the slime.
And we have torches.
Okay, but what if it slips down into your hand?
You have to look above. You have to look above you.
They stay often above you, and when you begin hearing splatter or some sort of thing falling from the roof, you better fucking move.
Yes.
Right. But we can burn the slime, you said.
Yes, just don't let it get on any part of you because, like I said, it'll go into you and then it slowly will eat your brain while you're still alive.
Okay. Is there a way we can take some?
Yes, but you have to kill it before.
You mean
Right.
harvest?
Kill it.
Harvest some,
Like, can we take it? Because we could just chuck it on the kobolds.
Yes, you can, definitely, yes. But you need, again, to kill it beforehand. Unless you have some sort of perfect way you can get a slime into a bottle of sorts.
Yeah.
You're not gonna...
Okay, how do we kill slimes before the time runs out?
burn
Just
them.
by fire. Just
Burn
by
them.
fire.
Just by fire. Their weakness is fire.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, thanks guys.
Alright. So, it's time to begin, right? Or time to continue. But begin your delve, more than likely. Your party has finished having lunch. They had a lunch hour. So the starting time of the expedition might be around 1300 hours. And you only have until 1600 hours before the day shift ends and the evening shift begins, right? So, it's, 1300 hours right now. So plenty of time to work. You're at the siege camp right now, by the way. The siege camp is a large military camp, basically, that has been built just outside of the grassy hills among which the caves could be found, right? There are several cave entrances that your party might know about. Of course, the nearest one is the south cave entrance, which is heavily guarded. The siege camp here is fortified, entrenched, and garrisoned by merchants, mercenaries, and soldiers. You are one of the few groups of adventurers here, right? Most adventurers unfortunately withdrew from the kobolds. They lost interest in fighting this war and decided to fight other wars. Of course, they've been failing at all these other wars, though. You guys are back to maybe retake these caves that were lost recently. But we're winning this war, possibly, right? We've got them surrounded. All we have to do now is either clear them all out or force them to surrender or something like that, right? To win this war. But unfortunately, as most know, you cannot settle a grid until it's been cleared of monsters, right? So we can't settle this grid until the kobolds give up on the surface, right? So as long as they're in level 1 of the dungeon, they can keep on climbing out of the caves, right? Or digging their way out. But the only way they'll permanently stop them is to force them to surrender, right? And agree to not continue raiding the grasslands, or to clear them out for good by killing them, right? So you're getting paid really well here for any kobolds you kill, by the way. Per kobold, you get paid 10 coppers, right, for their heads. That's a pretty good payment.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so.
What's the payment per green skin? I'm just curious.
Greenskins, they're more dangerous than deadly to fight. If you want to go into their caves, usually make it like 20 coppers for an orc's head. Maybe 10 for a goblin's, right? Yeah. Maybe 25 for a hobgoblin, right? So.
Just once in a... Alright.
Yep. It's a more dangerous war to the east, though. It's not, yeah. This war here's a winning war. Somewhat, right? We just gotta actually end the war, right? Just the enemy resistance is very strong, the last bit of them, right? Their final stand. So. Alright. Your team of 6 has approached the caves now. Are you interested in continuing toward the south cave, or do you want to try one of the other cave entrances?
We could do the south.
The south cave?
Let's go in toward the south cave, just because that's the one I remember.
Alright, sounds good.
And do the dwarves, like, go in as far as other adventurers and like their progress, they guard the area.
Yeah, they
Is that what they
typically
do?
mercenaries, right? Dwarven or human will typically help guard the areas that we progress through until they're lost, right?
Okay.
And if we don't come back
Okay.
here for a while, they typically are lost, right? Progress is lost every time. We lose outside of the game, or if we're winning in different areas, they might be able to maintain it. But if the party's losing other areas and losing here too, we'll lose territories here as well. Given that adventurers have been absent, right, for a while, uh, that means no progress has been made, and the only thing they can do is either maintain or withdraw from the position. Unfortunately, since we haven't been here in a while, we still have the area mapped to some extent, um, without any new updates, of course, unless we go in there and update the map ourselves, right? In which case, our party has the map. Marching through explored areas that we've been through before, you can move through it 3 times faster, right? If we recently have been through it. Fortunately, some areas have already been drawn out, but we're not exactly certain if it's the same as we left it. And upon arriving at the South Cave, this is how we left the map last time. But the guards here update you and let you know that unfortunately the cold resistance was grown, and in between the last assault that the adventurers made on the caves to now, the kobolds did make an attack on the position, which forced the mercenaries to retreat and give up all that was actually taken. So all that we can do now is retake the caves, right? Basically, we lost all areas of the caves again, but it shouldn't be too hard to take back, given that, of course, we have mapped out the area. We have some idea of how to approach the situation. And if we have the right team, right power and capability, as adventurers are allowed, right, they can have up to 7 different classes, which should have all the tools and skills needed to clear out dungeons, right? And we should be fine. I think our team has some magic in there, has a lot of fighting force, and has some thievery and clerical ability too, so we should have a little bit of everything, right? Fortunately, we're a decently balanced crew. Heavy on fighters, though. Looks like. Okay, so. Alright, we'll start with putting your tokens on the board. We've got ODIN the second, an acolyte. We'll grab you a token real quick. Just a moment. Alright, he's got the heavy helmet on. Alright, this one shall represent ODIN the second, C1. Do you want to wield your Morning Star and Shield for this one, or something else?
Morning Star and Shield, yes.
Alright, sounds good. Thank you. Alright, and for your retainer, ZEUS the third, is it going to be his pull and sling, or something else?
I think it'll just be the sling. Why would he hold both his pole and sling?
In case he wants to pro out with one hand and shoot with the other. They're both one-handed. 2 ends to use properly, maybe, or to load and fire, but
I'll go by your advice then. Yeah,
it is
the
possible.
pole and the sling.
Yeah. Alright. Then for Elsie, Elven Veteran, do you want to use the shield and spear or something else?
I'll take a torch.
Torch and what else?
And my shield.
Okay. I think torches should have, if I think torches are 30-foot radius. Check. In real life it's a lot smaller, but 30 foot. Okay. And for your retainer, Sparrow the veteran, is he gonna use his bow and arrows? Is that fine?
Yeah, that's
Okay. Right. For BERIM the veteran, heavy shield and spear or something else?
Yeah, that's fine. What about my
POLMAK?
hireling?
Right.
Yeah.
You want him to use his spear as well? Or something else?
Yeah. What's he got besides a spear anyway?
He's got a dagger too.
A spear for sure. Alright, so we got spears, heavy shields, longbows, pullmen. Alright. So your crew has taken the time to organize themselves, right? They're almost done organizing themselves. They've got torches, they've got weapons equipped, spells memorized, I think. Elsie, what spell did you memorize for today?
it would be
You just cut out, was it just me?
that would
Did I cut out? I'm sorry. So Elsie, did you want to memorize sleep or read magic?
sleep, please.
Sounds good. Right. And who would like to lead the way in? The cave entrance is about 10 feet wide and 10 feet deep.
I know I want to be behind whoever's in front.
Second rank? Sounds good.
BERIM shall lead the way in with POLMAK. If that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
Plan on killing a lot of shit.
I think I'll have Sparrow next to me if that's okay. Just because I don't want him too close to the front, but decent enough, you know?
Right.
So we can see.
Sounds good.
Got 2 spearmen in the front. And, anything that moves in front of us is going to get stabbed.
Good to go. Sounds good.
Above your head.
Yep. Spearman at the front.
Above.
We've got a bowman and the torchbearer in the middle. Right. We've got some extra weapons at the back to guard the rear, I suppose. Alright. So, with that, your party may begin exploring northward, seeing that that's the way forward. Alright.
I just internet connection.
You have to reset the connection. It's all good.
No, internet connection. I'm on through my phone.
I see. Very well. Welcome back. You didn't miss out that much. The party just organized themselves. Our caller and mapper is BERIM and POLMAK. Actually, one of them will be mapping as the other one calls shots, right, on where the party will move. The mapper, of course, have the party stop every now and then, so I can draw out the map for your team if we have areas to map out or update, as I display the map to you and your crew, right? So now, yeah, you have a question?
Sorry. If I've got my shield in a sling, do I technically need to have it in my hand? I'm just thinking, like, what does it protect?
When you wield the shield, you're actively using it to defend yourself. The sling allows you to wear the shield. What was it?
Does that count as anything? If I don't have it out, does it count to protect me for anything?
Not typically. It can protect the flank that you're wearing it on to some extent, but otherwise it's kind of useless if you're not in the front, right? So you might wield something else, right? Like a spear to poke beyond the front.
Yeah, I'm thinking, can I pick up a spear instead?
Sure.
Because I'm a bit useless.
Yeah, with the shield and torch. Now you can stab from second rank, right? If BERIM crouches, for example, you can stab overhead. If he doesn't crouch, Maybe you can poke between them. If Sparrow falls back, right, you can step between the two. But, yep. Create a sort of spear wall, phalanx or whatever. So, alright. Your crew or your party may begin exploration, right? So we take some time to carefully organize our team, prepare, and marching order, right? That's all that took maybe 10 minutes, we'll say. See our the start time will be 13:10, right? So upon the entry, time of entry is 13:10, and that will be the same time in which the torch will be lit, I'll say, so that you have till 14:10 before you have to light another, right? So you begin exploration to the cave. You make your way into a 10-foot long tunnel, 10 feet wide as well. It's a cave tunnel that seems to descend into a cave that continues northwest. This cave you make your way into, you can see that the eastern wall continues northward, but the cave itself opens out toward the northwest. It's about 20 feet north to south, and for how long it continues to the west, it's hard to tell from where you're at until you continue either west, northwest, or north, right? But for now, you can tell this cave is about 20 feet north to south, right? Based on the fact that you can see the far north wall. And so far from here, it seems clear. Let me double check though. Just gotta make sure. We're gonna roll for any contact in the cave. Every 10 feet area typically has a chance to have something there, right? So we'll check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. Okay. So it seems mostly clear. There might be some changes. Okay. Step 4 indicates an encounter in the area. Okay, let's see how many we got. Alright, so as you peek into the cave, you can already see a lot of old footprints that seem to head outward, back outside. As you carefully explore in, peeking into the west of the cave, can't see terribly much until Elsie moves up, but you immediately start to receive enemy fire from the west, right? And you can't see to the west because the torchlight isn't up there yet. And it's fired, these stones come hurling at you from the dark, right? So whatever's guarding the position fires at you upon entry. They are holding that position secure. And you can react to this. You can either rush the position, you can fall back, or something else. So BERIM and POLMAK were first to enter, right? They were carefully peeking around the corner, and immediately as soon as there's a line of fire, they receive enemy contact, right? They take fire. So BERIM, as you take fire, you can of course block with your shield easily. But do you want to close and engage with the enemy, or fall back, or something else? You're taking points.
I shall engage. Screaming, die, scum.
Very well.
I'll join him.
Okay. POLMAK pushes in with BERIM. ODIN wants to move up there, so he's like trying to get past the front. If anyone wants to fall back or let him get through. Elsie, do you want to push ahead with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to just hide behind his shield, pretty much.
Right. Stay behind him.
As much as I can.
Sparrow's a bowman, so he's gonna move in, probably flank. ODIN, you just push up and charge after. ZEUS will follow Sparrow, it looks like. Right, so the bowmen are moving to the flank to fire from a different angle, or fire from a distance, right? But as you round the corner, you're able to reveal the enemy position, right? So you turn the corner, and as soon as that torch lights your position, we do receive enemy fire upon the advance, right? So this 23 indicates, unfortunately, the enemy size, right? So there's 23 shooters in the area, or 23 enemies positioned.
They will never get past my shield. Never.
Let's hope. Let's see. Shields are very effective against missiles.
I have a question. How big is a sleep spell? How big can it be?
It can affect up to 2 to 16 enemies. 2 to 16.
Oh, so like that's the thing in itself.
2d8, yeah.
Like
So if you're able to cast it, you can affect up to 2 to 16 right? It's rolled randomly to see how many you affect. Let's see. All right, but you'll need a round to actually cast it, and that round you can't do anything else but cast. So you need someone to protect you, right? You also need line of sight. You need to be able to verbally say the incantations, and of course hand gestures. You need one free hand to cast.
I'm sure
Right.
Low will save me. Well, I can.
But let me place down some tokens to indicate, give you an idea of enemy positions. Actually, technically, we're not even mapping right now. We're just going to combat. So this combat's more so theater of the mind, we'll say. I'm not going to put them on the board because we're not technically mapping out our combat. So it's theater of the mind. You can imagine, of course, there's a large group of enemies, roughly 23, 2 dozen shooters firing. At the beginning, due to the size of the cave, not all of them could fire at once, naturally. Upon our initial assault, the first row of shooters fire from the west, and given the spacing, I would say only about 8 of them out of the 23 were able to fire at once. So, the first group takes the initial blunt of the enemy fire, right? And, let's see. For our house rules, when it comes to missile fire, missiles deal half damage against armor. And aside from that, I think shields should have a better bonus against missiles, as indicated. Yeah, if shields are in hand, they have a ×2 armor class bonus when equipped. So, let's see. Should be relatively good. Yeah, because shields can be used as cover, so they'll get double AC. They can provide passive armor class if just worn, whether strapped to you or slung around your back. But if equipped and used as cover, they get ×2 armor class as a house rule. So a normal shield usually gives you 1 armor class bonus, but if you equip it, our house rule is that you're using it as cover, so half your body's cover, so the total bonus is 2 instead, because typically half cover gives you 2 armor class. That's our house rule for shields. And of course, any armor will half damage if the attack ends up hitting, right, penetrating the armor. So, let's see if any of these sling stones hit. So upon firing, we are moving in a 2-column formation, so therefore the only targets are BERIM and POLMAK. As long as the rolls are high enough, their armor should protect anyone behind them. Due to an enemy line of fire, though, there's a chance for weapon shots to be fired and to stray off and go past the first group and into the second group. If that's the case, of course, it would have to be very low to the point where it's a complete miss and possibly hits Elsie and SPARROW. Sometimes, though, enemy shots might be so deadly to the point it goes through and hits another character behind them. But sling stones from KOBOLDS, given how small they are, rarely ever do that, actually. Alright, let's find out if any of these shooters hit. The first wave of shooters, 4 on BERIM, 4 on POLMAK, right, as we close and engage. So, starting with BERIM, we're going to see if any of these guys hit him. Okay, unfortunate. 2 nat 20s and 1 19. And nat 20s
are you kidding? Are you kidding me?
That's why, yeah, that's quite unfortunate. They are
Oh
automatic
my God.
hits. So automatic hits, right? The
Yeah.
19. Given your armor class, let's see. Helmet, heavy shield. The heavy shield provides typically 2 armor class bonus in our game. It's a house ruled weapon in our game, or shield. And of course against missiles, when it's wielded, it's a ×2 AC bonus. So it gives you a total of 4 AC, like full cover basically as you charge them, right? AC 4 bonus. The helmet gives you AC 1 bonus. So against enemy fire, you have a total of -5 armor class bonus. So it went from 9, -5 is 4, +1 due to your dex penalty. So armor class 5. So it's clearly 2 direct or 2 automatic hits and 1 normal hit. Now, when it comes to the automatic hits, the nat 20s, Typically, kobolds deal 1d4 damage divided by 2 against a large size foe. In our game house rules, right? Small enemies deal half damage and are harder to hit, though, right? That's a trade off. Whereas larger enemies, easier to hit, but deal double damage against smaller enemies, right? And receive half damage. So, BERIM is clearly larger, easier to hit naturally, and will take half damage though, because he's a lot larger than these enemies who are smaller. So they deal 1d2 damage for normal hits. But if it's a automatic hit, a crit, in our game also crits typically, of course, deal double damage, right? So it's gonna be.
He's dead. He's dead.
Let's see, Berim's got 2 hit points only, yeah. So, yeah, there would be 3 hits, and the minimum damage would be like 3 damage since he took 3 hits, right?
Yeah, he's dead.
So BERIM died in the initial charge as he rounds the corner and begins a brave charge against the enemy line. He's hit 3 times, right? First stone, probably. Let's see where it hit him. It went straight for the head. So first stone concussed him, right? Because he's got a helmet on. Concussed him, he fell on his knee. Second stone went through his neck. Third stone also through his face, right? So all of them were headshots, basically. His only weak point, basically behind his shield, is just his head, right? His body's pretty weak, though, too. He has no body armor. So BERIM died in the initial charge, unfortunately. He was one of our brave and experienced fighters in our crew. His job is to close and destroy the enemy, right? But unfortunately, he died during the initial charge. POLMAK is your retainer, and if POLMAK's morale doesn't break, POLMAK can assume BERIM's position as the new player character, right, of House Low, right? So we're gonna do a morale check for POLMAK. I'll let you roll it. Roll 2d6 for POLMAK, and if you pass, he stays loyal and assumes BERIM's position as a leader of House Low.
What makes it a fail?
A high roll is a fail, so because this is rolled against your loyalty score, which is based on charisma and based on loyalty rating, right? So 11 indicates 7 loyalty typically, starting loyalty. So POLMAK failed, and immediately after BERIM dies, his morale breaks, and all he can think about is retreat. He turns the corner, sees BERIM dies, his heart stops. He realizes he has no defenses himself, because that was his shield line, right? And he himself has no shields. So he takes enemy fire, and he has no cover at all, and he breaks morale immediately, almost pisses himself possibly, as he receives 4 enemy shots without any cover, right? And 2 were nat ones, surprisingly. So that kind of is a trade-off. Those guys get weapon malfunctions, right? A complete fumble. So that's the trade-off, right? Since we have critical hits, we also have critical failures. Those guys fumble, so they lose a round of firing, basically. While 2 of them score hits on POLMAK and deal minimum of 1 damage. And POLMAK has 3 hit points. Let's see if they scored high enough damage though to kill him. So they deal 1d2 damage each. 3 damage total. So POLMAK went down. He's not dead, but he's down. Unfortunately, he did not assume BERIM's position, so he remains an NPC. Right? He broke morale, remains an NPC, makes a saving throw versus death in our game. Failed it, so at exactly 0 hit points, you are not dead, you're dying, and you roll a saving throw versus death to stay conscious. So he is out of combat, of course. He blacked out upon being hit 3 times, right? Or was it 2 times? Yeah, 2 times. One of them was a very hard hit. He was hit in the shoulder once, and he was hit in the face area or head. So that headshot knocked him unconscious. He went out cold. He's not dead. He's knocked out.
Avenge me!
Unfortunate. So we lost all of House Low. So for the remainder of the expedition, Low, you're welcome to take your leave or spectate the rest of the game, right? But we already have a major casualty. You're welcome to, yeah. And of course, Elsie, you're the next line to push up. Enemies are still firing. Upon seeing BERIM and POLMAK collapse, did you still want to charge, or did you want to halt and begin the retreat or something else.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have another question. If Sparrow was to take his shield and want to return it to his next of kin, but let's say he wanted to take it, would he be able to equip it before they fire again? Or would he be like mid-action and they would fire?
If there were fewer enemies, he might have time to grab it before they will fire again. Unfortunately, it's rows of enemies firing, right? So after row 1 fires, row 2 will fire, row 3, and row 4, because there's 23 enemies total, right? How they would do it is the first row would be on their knees, fire, or withstand, fire, and then kneel, right? Second row would fire, kneel. Third row would fire, kneel, and so on, right? So multiple rows of fire. And with that kind of level of suppression, Sparrow would be fired upon entry, just like the other two. So upon seeing those two collapse, unless you push up, he won't push up, right? So if you push up, he will, right? And you stop and think, though, because you asked the question. And as Elsie stopped to think, Odin, you originally wanted to plan to push forward. Did you want to continue trying that, or did you want to stop and do something else?
If I stop now, nobody's gonna die. Zeus, wait!
Right, you hold him back. Right.
Yeah.
So we took an immediate fire. Unfortunately, the position was lost to a large group of kobolds. And 2 fighters are definitely not enough to take down 23 kobolds. We'll need more than just fighters in your team, right? We'll need magic users, possibly some thieves to get some pot shots off. Fighters are good for taking a position, assaulting, moving, and closing, engaging, right, holding, right? But without support of the other classes, can't get the job done, right? So Elsie's sleep spell would come in clutch here, if she was able to even cast it, and she would require someone to defend her, like a fighter, right? But our fighters are down, and even with her sleep spell, I don't think it would be enough to clear out all 23 kobolds. Maybe enough to maybe break their morale, but who knows? We already lost a bit of morale, right? We lost almost half our team just now in the initial push. Combat is disengaged naturally because our side chose to not engage any further. We fell back, right? We lost POLMAK and BERIM. The kobolds, you can hear them cheering. They suppressed the position, firing stones as warning shots, right? Stones are free and plentiful, right? So another 8 stones hit the wall, right? Right, very deathly, sharp cracks against the eastern wall, right? Yeah, unfortunate situation. What do you guys think? Fall back and retreat?
No. Well, fall back, but can I get a grenade? Like, how far away do I have to go for one character to go get a grenade real quick?
If you want to go buy grenades, you would have to go to a place that sells them. The nearest settlement that might sell you grenades is ISTAN, right?
Do the art, like the true.
Are the troops here armed with grenades? You possibly could buy some from the merchants at the siege camp, but they'll be twice as costly, right? Grenades typically cost about maybe 10 coppers, so it costs you 20 at the siege camp.
God, what do you think?
It's a good fucking idea, considering the fact that everyone just died.
I want to go get one with Elsie. Do you guys
But
want
we're only 4 people. Do you really whatever fucking shot him clearly has more people. Do you think we can take that on?
You throw a grenade in there, round the corner, it's going to go to them. If I hide round the corner and chuck it, I'm not going to get hit.
You can technically sling a grenade.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, so ZEUS could do it. Does ZEUS want to sling a grenade around the corner? If I go get one?
Yeah, he will.
Okay. Can I go... Can Elsie go grab a grenade from the troops? She doesn't care how much it is. I want to buy it too.
Alright, not let BERIM and POLMAK die in vain. So I suppose, Elsie, you can head back to the merchants while the others hold position and not allow the enemy to push further. Because if they do, we'll give up POLMAK and BERIM's loot, right? So they can watch and guard in case the enemy push up. They can, of course, suppress them with sling and bow. Odin can remain in melee combat, or melee ready, in case the enemy tries to engage the position.
Yeah.
Can I leave my torch with like on the ground with them, just so they can keep like an eye
Oh, sure.
while I
Yeah.
run.
Yeah. They do need some lighting. So you will be a runner. You're going to go back to camp and stock up on equipment. We'll see. All right. Let me grab a torch token. So I guess you guys don't want to give up quite yet. You don't want to let this adventure go to waste.
Gonna break the formation. We're gonna break it all.
Yep. There are many ways to do it, and that's one way to do it, possibly. So you've got the right idea.
Well, I'm thinking if we blow them up, then there's less people to sleep. If it comes down to it.
Alright, so Elsie's going off to stock on gear. In the meantime, these guys will hold. And we'll see the enemy's reaction to the situation, right? So they won the first battle, it looks like. And they react indifferently. They react uncertain of what. They're not sure exactly what to make of it. They have their goals or plans, and their goals and plans is to defend the cave. And their reaction to a crew now, based on their victory, is somewhat indifferent or uncertain of us, right? So confusion, maybe some indifference. Possible later they might even attack. They might even push up to loot POLMAK and BERIM, right? Because that's their loot now, unless we defend it, right? Then it's not quite theirs yet. Let's see. But their reaction currently is that. The morale check, we'll do a morale check to see if they're willing to attack further or to just hold. So if they pass the morale check, then... Okay, actually, in this case, because that's loot, and loot is everything that... Or everybody loves loot. So looting, right? So we'll do a morale check to see if they want to go loot now, or if they're going to remain disciplined and continue to do their job, which is defend the cave, right? So basically, a passing morale check would mean that they don't loot quite yet, they continue to defend. But if they fail the morale check, they break, and some of them will go out to loot, right? Okay, so they failed. So unfortunately, some of them will be pushing out to loot, and that might indicate combat between the time in which Elsie will be gone. So Elsie, you went out to go buy some siege equipment. Unfortunately, there will be another attack, another combat, possibly. So Odin, Sparrow, and ZEUS stayed here to defend, and while they're defending the position, they can hear the enemy advancing on BERIM and POLMAK's remains, right? So they're creeping up to it carefully. You can hear them, right? Kind of moving up with their large group.
Arrow, if you get a shot, shoot.
Okay, so he's got his bow and arrow readied, and we'll see. I'll say they'll have half their team advance. That's about a dozen or so kobolds advancing to BERIM and POLMAK's corpses, right? So they're carefully moving out with their slinging stones. And then as soon as Sparrow sees one, he will fire. But that one will probably fire as well, right? So he's moving, Sparrow's on guard.
I intercept.
But Odin's got a
So
shield.
I take the shot.
Yeah.
Or, I get hit if I get hit.
Yeah, so you can step in the way and take the shot. But if you do that, Sparrow can't fire, right? Until you move back.
Okay, yeah,
right?
then let him shoot.
So you can let him shoot first. He
He
should have the first shot anyway, because the enemy has to move and then fire. So you can let Sparrow fire, and then right after he fires, you can step in his way while he loads an arrow, right?
Yeah.
So
That's what I'll do.
okay. So yeah, they'll as soon as we see them moving up, as soon as one comes into Sparrow's line of fire, Odin steps in the way of it, or steps in the way as soon as Sparrow fires. So Sparrow sees one right just around the corner. He looses an arrow. ZEUS is just in the back, ready to fire too, but he doesn't have any line of sight yet. Line of fire, naturally. And let's see if he gets the hit. So Sparrow loosed an arrow. 19 hits. Damage is 1d8. 4 damage. And he deals double damage against the small creature, so 6 damage. So he sniped one, he killed one. And typically at first blood and every new combat, there's a morale check. So the enemy are sniped, and they all make a morale check to continue advancing. Let's see. They break morale. So as soon as Sparrow shot one dead, the rest of the dozen fell back, right? They withdrew. They realized that you guys are still there camping the spot, right? So We got 1 kill so far, right? You can indicate that on your map. It's half an XP. Let's see.
Oh, half X.
Yeah, they're level 0 monsters.
Better than nothing.
Oh, it's because they're like very weak.
Yeah,
That
they're
makes
super
sense.
weak. They're level 0.
Mhm.
Alright. Yet we keep losing to these poor level 0s sometimes, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering how. I guess it's because there's so many.
Yeah, that's their main benefit. Their numbers. Okay. So Elsie left to go get supplies and gear at the siege camp, and you know you marched on back to the siege camp. They allow you access. They're wondering what happened. You know, they're like, "Where's the rest of you?" Right? And you explain the situation, perhaps tell them that you're here to buy supplies. And unfortunately, as I warned you, it is indeed twice the cost. Right? So grenades are for sale here. They don't have a lot of them, limited in quantity. But they tell you that you're allowed to stock up on grenades if you'd like, at the cost or at the trade of 20 coppers. You've got 80 in the bank, so you have to use banked funds, which means it will be taxed an extra 10%. So it costs you 22 for 1 grenade, or 44 for 2 grenades.
Do it, Lana. Do it.
We'll get to. We'll get to.
It's not my money that's getting wasted.
Yeah.
If we could
36.
possibly die. No, it's fine. We just.
And then you want to make your way back, or is there anything else you want to buy?
Yeah, no, that's it. I want to get back as soon as possible.
Alright, so Elsie's on the way back, and on her way back, Odin and Sparrow and ZEUS managed to defend the position for now. We're going to roll another morale check to see if they get bold and try another attempt, right? So it takes her 2 turns, 1 turn to get there and 1 turn to get back. So they are within morale, so they stay disciplined and continue to do their job, which is defend the cave. So after the first group try to loot POLMAK and BERIM, and realized that you guys were camping the entrance still, they withdrew, and this allowed you guys to hold position for now. And with that, Elsie arrives on the scene. She returns to the scene. The current time is going to be 1340. So the torch here was lit at 1310, so it should die at 1410. So we still got time with this torch. Alright, but the team has been regrouped. What is our move or plan moving forward?
I would like to make Sparrow fall back a little bit, and for Elsie to give a grenade to ZEUS to put in a sling.
Okay, so you'll keep one on you. ZEUS will take the other. Right. I'll indicate this on your character. You can stow the grenade in your backpack since you don't have a pouch yet.
If you miss, we're screwed.
Shrapnel grenade. Medieval shrapnel grenade. It consists of black powder, metal bits, and of course a fragile or clay casing, right? Of course inside there's the ignition, the fuse, right? The slow match fuse, which is just like a piece of rope, right? And
Yeah.
Yep, ready to light. So Odin, you'll have to be out of ZEUS' way if he's gonna throw, unless he's throwing it around you, so stepping further east. And
I will be getting out of his way so he can throw it without issue.
okay, he'll throw it around the corner. So Odin moves up with a sling, and he's gonna, I guess, blindly sling it around the corner, right? If you want, he can peek and throw it, but that's risky, right? Because then the enemy can naturally, he'll have a better shot, but he will also take enemy fire, right? So best chance is to kind of blindly chuck it in there. Hopefully it goes off without a hitch. To light this thing, you'll need to ignite it with some fire, right? So we have a torch in there.
We have a torch.
I don't have a tinderbox.
I guess we dropped the torch nearby,
No,
so he can light it on the torch that we dropped, right? Elsie dropped this torch
Okay,
here. So it's still burning on the floor. We just left it near us so we can use it still.
you know what? I'll help ZEUS so that he can pull it back, and then I can light it, and then he can fire it.
Okay, so you want to hold the torch then? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, hold the torch, and whenever he's ready, light it, and then he
Okay,
can
light
fire
it for him so he can throw it. Okay.
Yeah.
He just has the one grenade,
Or
so you'll be the igniter.
I mean, could he not put it in his sling and shoot it even further?
He could. Right, he
But there's a
could.
chance to bounce back, no?
Yeah, there's more force then with a throw. I don't know how far he's gonna be throwing it. He's blindly throwing it around the corner. He should have enough strength to throw up to 30 feet. Direct throw, 30 feet. Forcibly throw is possible. It takes a little longer. You can get twice as far with a force throw, like a strong throw. A normal throw is 30 feet, and an underhand or soft throw is like 15 feet, up to 15.
I don't think we need the sling.
Yeah, the sling is kind of overkill. It's possible, but
it'll probably break if anything.
yeah, it could actually just break the grenade too, possibly. So yeah, he's just gonna chuck it in there with his hand, just roll it in there basically. He doesn't need to throw it terribly far. So he's asking, of course, any advice on how he should throw it, like at what angle. You want him throwing it at a kind of northwestern angle, like a 45-degree angle, maybe a western angle, like almost a 180.
I would presume a western angle would get it further.
Okay, throw it toward the west, or throw it toward the northwest.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're going to be more towards the northwest.
You know what, Zeus? You do what you think is best. I'll presume northwest.
Okay, well you're his master, so he'll listen to you, or his employer.
Okay.
So yeah, you tell him to throw it northwest, and that's what he'll do. So he'll throw it northwest. Do you want him to throw it max distance, 30 feet northwest?
Every block is 5 feet, yeah?
Yeah. By the way, POLMAK is not dead quite yet. He's conscious still, bleeding out, actually.
I'll say 25.
Or he might be dead now, actually. Well, he got hit by a sling
dead
stone.
now.
Yeah, the enemy were aiming to kill, so he died. He bled out earlier, unfortunately. Yeah. Because he was dying, and now he's dead, right? Because we never pulled him out to save him. And so he's dead now. All right.
That sounds like that sounds like a skill issue. Anyway.
Right. Okay.
Let's go for it.
All right. So ZEUS will chuck a grenade in there then. ODIN will, of course, support him. Just be ready to defend him, I guess, right? You want to move, like, east of him? Get ready to, like, replace his position in case the enemy push?
Yeah.
And the rest of you, I guess Elsie can have her spear ready, torch, and Sparrow will have his bow.
I just want to give enough space so me and Zeus can swap out at some point, because I want to hit off a slip spell if needed.
Alright, so you'll wait outside then, so Zeus can, like, retreat right after, right? In case the enemy push east, they can cast sleep on them on their way over.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll wait outside. Sparrow will do the same and kind of wait around the corner.
Come on,
right, so we can funnel him in.
Make your house proud.
Alright, so he lights it against the torch that you picked up, this 1310 torch, right? Picked it off the floor.
Yeah.
You put your morning star away for now, or your shield?
Yeah, in my morning star.
Okay, so you just holstered it, hold the torch for him. He lights the fuse and lets the grenade cook for a few seconds so that it might blow up instantly, right? So he cooks the grenade and then chucks it in there, right? 30 feet. Let it cook for about 3 seconds, tossed it over, lands, and should blow up in a few seconds after, right? It has a 10-second fuse. So threw it in there, northwest, 30 feet blind throw, right? Just kind of chucked it around the corner at 30 feet northwest. Force, yeah, or just normal throw. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 should land around there. Right, and we hear it land, right? And let's see the enemy's reaction to that. So the enemy's reaction is gonna be a morale check. So they see something thrown around the corner into their cave, right? So it's just chucked at an angle into the cave and toward them, right? And if they have a morale check and they pass it, they'll hold position. Some of them might even jump the grenade or try to, for sure they'll hold. But if they fail the morale check, they'll break. They'll like react to it, right, and like maybe even run away, right? So we'll check the morale check. They passed the morale check, so um,
But not by flying colors.
that means they don't retreat. They hold position, and the reaction to the actual grenade itself, we're gonna see if they're either uh, hostile toward it to the point where they will like attack it, or friendly toward it to the point where they will like basically jump on it, right, and cover their friends, right? So the reaction to the actual grenade itself is hostile, so they try to like break it or throw it back, right? But the grenade was cooked, right? So as they turn toward it and hold position and try to pick it up, right, to like toss it back, it blows up in a 10-foot radius, which will kill up to. See, they have about 4 kobolds in each grid, so a 10-foot radius might kill about 16 of them, right? So it blows up roughly 16 in the position if they're in the position, which they are. So they're tightly formed up in the western cave, just waiting there to fire in their firing line.
I want to see if it's a dud.
And 16 blows up. There's no reason for it to be a dud typically, unless the grenade was, there's actually a decent chance for it to have been a dud where it was maybe soaked in water or something like that. But it's a standard medieval grenade that blew up in a 10-foot radius. Who was that?
A standard 100% functioning medieval grenade.
Yeah. Who are you?
Who the? Yeah.
Alright. If you don't mind, you're not part of this game. You're welcome to spectate. But interrupting, I'll have to kick you out if you interrupt again. Right.
Yeah, I was just saying, medieval grenade, high chance. I mean, it could dud. Medieval grenade versus.
Because I bought it from a good place.
Yeah, it's a standard
What
one.
is it?
Alright, I appreciate you chiming in, but yeah, if you're gonna spectate, you're welcome to. Just try not to interrupt us, please. Alright.
Yeah.
So should go off without a hitch. There's no reason for it to have been a dud. Unless you really want to check for a chance for it to be a dud, I'm not gonna check, right? That's up to Elsie. I don't think she wanted to buy a dud, so let's see.
No, I didn't.
I think this guy's just trying to screw you over. Alright, so the damage is 2d8.
I will just say I thought an enemy threw
10
a grenade
damage.
at them.
Nope.
So I was hoping it could be a dud to save their party, but guess not. My bad.
No, it's a group throwing a grenade at a group of kobolds. We did 10 damage on average to each kobold in that radius. The kobold's formation was a tight formation, firing line, right? A bunch of dogmans in their firing line waiting for you guys to advance so they could fire in their row of fire, right? All 24 of them ready to fire. Instead, they get counterattacked on their position. A grenade lands among their ranks and blows up roughly 16 of them on average. So chance of survival is minimal. The average kobold in that formation had maybe 1 or 2 hit points. On average, it will say 1. And they all should die then. They all take about 10 damage, which is overkill. So 10 kobolds blow up in their formation as they hold and try to maybe fight off the grenade, right? A few of them would even try to like hop onto it, but it would be too late because the grenade was cooked and 10 of them blew up. Or not 10, 16 of them blew up in that 10-foot area, right? In that tight formation. So tight formation is weak against something like a siege weapon, right? So tight formations are very good, sometimes, but in this case it was not good. If they had like shield wall, right, they can like block their grenade or nets or anything like that. They can counter such an attack, but their position was simply a firing line, a 4-ranked firing line of roughly 24 kobolds, which was super effective against a very it's super effective against a party that doesn't know how to assault the position, right, and just sends people in to die. Fortunately today we outsmarted them. We chucked a grenade in there and blew up 16, over a dozen of them, right? Naturally there's only 23, as you guys saw on the roll. We killed 16 just now. You can hear them all dying and blowing up, right? That you heard a bunch of yelping and dying dog sounds, right? They're dogmen, 3 feet tall, wicked-looking dog-like men. And you hear them all squealing in pain, their limbs blown off, torn apart, guts broken everywhere, blood everywhere, right? So over half of them were killed within 10 seconds, right? The other half makes a morale check, and they break down. So the others like start to like just freeze in panic. Some of them flee, some of them just watch in horror as their friends just lie there bleeding out, dying, you know, blown up to little bits and pieces filled with shrapnel. So there was only about after 16 were killed, there would be only 7 left. Yeah, so the last 7, maybe half of them flee, and the other half just stand there like broken, right? Not sure what to do, just in shock and traumatized, and like not sure like if they want to continue living after that, right? They thought that they were winning the war, and suddenly over half of them were just blown to bits and pieces, right? Okay, you won that battle, looks like so far. Upon the initial throw, Odin, did you want to push in and attack, or hold still, or something else?
Oh yes, I have the torch. I'll move in directly to see where these fuckers are.
Okay, so he's got the 1310 torch. So you got 1310 torch, and let's see. Your Morningstar out, right? So shield's put away.
No, my shield.
Oh, the shield?
My shield was out. Yeah.
My
So-
shield and torch.
Okay, so you're gonna attack them with the
So-
torch.
What? Mate, it wouldn't be the first time I've done it.
Okay, very well. You charge them with the flaming torch, and you're ready to just beat them with the flaming stick, I guess, right? Let's see. Attach this to you. So Odin's charging the position, getting in there to close and destroy the retreating enemy. Elsie, do you want to charge with him or something else?
Yeah, can I pull out my shield, please?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't have a torch anymore.
Yeah, that's right. So Elsie, you charge position. Looks like we're not losing this battle today. We're not dying in vain. So Elsie charges with Odin. Victory is close. Sparrow will continue after his master, which is Elsie, right, and provide missile fire. Zeus will follow as well. With this, yeah. What's your question? Yeah.
Do we need to take the 2 dead out? Like, if we go further in, is there a chance that they could be looted? Do we actually need to take
no.
them out?
Not typically.
Or is it just fine to leave them? Oh, okay. Then
Yeah, you'll be able to take
Sparrow
them out
will-
later if you want to go in deeper, right? So.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys attack the position. You just finished fragging it, right? That's how you properly clear out a trench, or in this case, a cave, right? With an enemy held position. Let's see. And you lead. Odin and Zeus lead the charge around the corner, right? Elsie's going after Odin. We can see into the cave a decent bit. Again, out of the 7 who remained, I rolled that about 4 of them are just broken, right? Like not sure what to do now, right? They just lost half their group. And the other 3 fled, right? So the 4 that are holding, right, they failed morale check. They see you charging. And typically when a monster fails a morale check, they either surrender or retreat. If there's a way to retreat, they will start retreating. And they snap out of their shock for a second. They begin their retreat. Before they can retreat, we fire upon them, right? So Odin's charging, Elsie's charging, and then Sparrow and Zeus want to fire. So they ask, you know, that you guys move toward the north. Like they say, you know, like Odin, flank north, right? And so they can.
Alright.
Yep, and then
Charges with the torch.
the retreating enemies are easier to hit, so I'm just gonna say they auto kill them. So these last 2 here, the trailing ones get killed, while the others fully retreat, right? As long as there's a means to retreat, they can retreat, right? You guys will charge after, but at least, at the very least, you'll move up to the corner. Do you want to push up into the tunnel that they retreated through, or do you want to just move to the corner and hold, or
No,
something else?
we're staying there. Yeah.
Okay, secure
We're
the
staying
position.
there.
Okay, secure the loot and the position. Yeah.
Elsie, give me the second grenade.
No, not
Not
yet.
yet.
Not yet.
You might want to scout out the position first, know where they are, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. The optimal place to throw a grenade. So your shooters move up, provide cover fire in case there's an angle of fire. They move up along the south wall. But we have about 18 dead kobolds here to loot, right? If we can get a crew to defend against the north tunnel, secure that north side, the others can start looting and hauling out the treasure, right? So
I will stand there.
Elsie and you can do a shield wall. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
All
do
the
a
others
shield wall
loot.
while ZEUS and the Sparrow will begin getting their fucking arms in gear.
Alright, let me see if the area to the north is clear. So the area, I have to check if it's clear of enemy positions, but the enemy withdrew. And the tunnel here, the old dried blood-stained tunnel, is clear. The trapped area is clear. This trap just indicates there's an open 10-foot pit. Or not 10 foot, 7-foot pit. No, wait, not even 7 feet, 5-foot pit. Further past that, down the north tunnel where it's dark, you can't see, you received no enemy contact. And you heard the enemy fleeing toward the north or east. You're not sure exactly where. But by the time you move up to observe and guard that tunnel to the north, which leads to an intersection, no enemies are in sight or to be heard anymore. We heard them trailing off to the north and east. So they have fully retreated. They gave up the cave. They gave up the tunnel to some extent, right? So it's currently clear of any enemies. This cave is clear of any enemies. And now Sparrow and ZEUS can loot up the kobolds and also recover your dead companions. Get them outside, right? Congratulations, you succeeded on your first or today's adventure. If you want to push further, you can. But if you want to wrap it up here, you can as well, right? You won the first battle.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Yeah. Thank you. And then
What do you feel like?
Yeah.
I have another grenade cooking. I have one. We could go a little bit more forward. I do have a question though for you. It's Ethan, right? Is it Ethan?
Ethan?
Okay.
Oh, you talking about me? My name is Ekin. Or you just call me the Dungeon Master
Oh,
during the game.
My bad. My bad.
You're
I've
good.
heard Ethan before.
There's the Ethan. He's another player here.
Right, that might have been it then. When we loot up the dead, do we get any valuables from it, or is it mainly just like XP in their heads?
Yep, they've got plenty of valuables on them. So, you look over the kobold remains. Besides their standard equipment, which is like, you know, their clothes, like they're wearing hides and underpants and like sandals. They also have gear like weapons. It's 5 coppers worth of gear that's valuable. This is like their sling and stones, daggers and sheaths. So yeah, there's that to loot, and you can sell all of that, right? You look over their weaponry. They've got a decent amount of weaponry, right? On their belts, slung over their shoulders, you know, all this ammunition, right? Bags of ammo, and their sling stones, and their slings themselves, their fustabilises, staffs and such. So a bunch of weapons, bunch of mundane equipment maybe. And then of course loot, they don't carry their loot on them to war, right? So their loot's probably stored away wherever they are quartered, right? So you have to find their lair, right? Where they're, you know, quartered, they're sleeping at. So naturally they weren't sleeping here, they were guarding here. So if you push further, you might find their lair somewhere in the cave, right? Where they originally came from, or base, because everyone in the game, every monster needs a place to rest, right? To eat and sleep and live. So naturally their job is just to guard this cave, but they have to have a treasure somewhere, right? Which is their lair. Typically, if you take prisoners, they can lead you to their lairs, right? Let's see. Anyway, though, the kobolds gave up their position. You won this battle. And from what it looks like, actually, let's see. You've got quite a bit of loot here among their corpses. You've got ZEUS and Sparrow to bring back to their families, right? Otherwise, you could lose reputation. So to maintain good reputation.
I will, as the house head of gold, House of Gold, I will give some funding. Sadly, because it is a shame that they died.
Right. They died for this battle, which was technically won during the second approach, due to Elsie's initiative to buy the right gear for this delve. Right, she bought siege weapons. Right, it is after all a siege technically whenever you attack a defended position, right, or besieging their lair. Yes, the tunnel that is cleared out though is indeed their living quarters. You can see along the walls, right, is stockpiled with all of their loot, right? So like, looks like they were living in very bad conditions, right? These soldiers, these Kobold dogmen. So you can see there's like tons of mundane gear that consists of equipment, supplies like bedding materials, food, tools, supplies, all that along the walls. And let's see how much that's valued at real quick. So when it comes to just standard equipment supplies, it's valued at maybe 400 copper pieces worth of equipment supplies. When you sell it, it's only worth half as much. So again, that consists of like rations, bedding, medical supplies, all that, right? Just stockpiled along the walls, right? Where they were resting. They had a place to rest. So just outside of their, or just behind their defenses was their living quarters, which was just this tunnel. They were living in the tunnel, right? So you can see along the walls are all their gear. You know, it's worth about 400 coppers worth of gear. If you sell it, it's only worth 200. So I'll indicate this on the map, but it's quite a bit of gear to grab onto. The issue with all this gear though is that it's 400 copper pieces of Kobold gear, right? So the only issue with it is the weight, and on average everything weighs maybe on average like 5 times the amount of the cost. So
Yeah.
basically it's about 2,000 pounds of gear, right? So it weighs 2,000 pounds. So looting this will be kind of, it's like you can definitely loot it. It's just not really worth the weight and not worth the golden weight, or if that makes any sense, right?
Yeah.
So
We're not gonna take 2,000 pounds of gear. It would be wiser to take the fucking goblins. Or the
yeah, their
kobolds.
heads, right? So it's
I was
definitely,
wondering, can I take some medical supplies?
yeah, you can look through it.
Like what medical supplies have they got? Cause
Bandages, tourniquets, medicine, herbs, all sorts, right? So naturally they have wounded quite often. They have to take care of their wounded, right? So, and if they want their wounded not to die of diseases, they have to have clean bandaging and all that. They technically do have it here. It's Kobold made bandaging and supplies, though, bear that in mind. So it's meant for dogmen. So just because it's bandages and such, that doesn't, just because it's clean enough for kobolds doesn't mean it might be clean enough for humans, though. Human use. These are dog-like men who live in caves. So anyway, it's got some value though, right? Some of these are clearly actually good stuff, right? Let's see. Aside from their mundane loot and such, there's also treasure, right? So you go through, if you want, you like start to go through. At least Elsie and Odin clearly can like go through their sacks of like treasure where their bedding is and everything. They find the personal treasures of these kobolds. Their personal treasures you find are like stowed away in like little pouches or sacks with little like etchings on them indicating that, or indicating who it might belong to. Sometimes you find like boxes full of different pouches with valuables. Like these boxes, you open them up, they're like lockers, but for like multiple people's wallets, right? Which are just a bunch of pouches with different kobolds' names, maybe, or indicators, right? Indicating who it belongs to, their wages, so they can send home to their families to take care of them. But every kobold that you fight is a soldier, and every soldier has a family. So let's see. Yeah, you go through their loot, and the overall loot on average, it's 100 coppers worth of loot. So out of that 24, you found 100. So each one only had like 3 coppers a piece, right? Each one had maybe a few coppers to their names. They were poor soldiers, right, with little to nothing. So total collective treasure was again 100 copper pieces, and just pieces of coppers, various copper trinkets, right? 100 pieces of copper. So whether it be coins, rings, right, little trinkets, it's just 100 different pieces of copper. So not a lot of treasure on them, unfortunately. Plenty of gear though. So poor small army of kobolds. They were just fodder to defend the entry cave, right? So equipped with sling, stones, and a melee weapon. So
Oh, do you want to push up a little bit?
if you advance further, you might be able to kill the last of them or assault a new position, right? So we had enemies fleeing. You assaulted an enemy position. Not a lair, but a position. The lair has even more treasure, by the way.
Right. Gold? I don't think he's here. That does not help me.
Okay. Yes, you did pretty good today. You still got a sleep spell. You still have 1 grenade. But you're down to just 2 PCs. Or, yeah.
Is Sparrow down to join as well as Zeus?
Sparrow is your NPC. He follows you. Zeus will go where Odin goes. And if Odin's not here, then Odin won't go. And so will not Zeus, right? So, I know you're brave and smart and might be willing to push. But without a team, you might not be able to do it safely, right?
No, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know where gold went.
Maybe you got to, I don't know, something.
I am 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
What?
you're back. I'm glad you're back.
Sorry. I was just listening to my mother talking about some stupid thing. Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to keep pushing, or do you want to withdraw and cash out?
Absolutely fucking not. We're cashing out.
Yeah, Odin.
Okay, but we only, technically speaking, got about 15 copper pieces each, because there was 6 of us.
That is fine by my standards. You do realize that this is a very decent outcome for what has happened.
That is true, but I do have a sleep spell and I do have 1 more grenade.
Elsie's very brave and skilled. Do you trust her to go
I
further?
have my sleep and grenade.
Fine. Yeah.
And I have
Okay.
3 multiple
Let's do this then. Okay.
Okay, we'll do this after a
Carefully.
small break. So let's take a small break because we're past halftime. So we'll take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
When you get back, we'll make the next assault. And maybe even win more today than we already won. So, okay, I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Take 5. Doing very good. Like 10 times better than the past 10 raids. So,
Oh yeah.
I'll see you soon.
So I'm thinking, Gold, we're going very carefully. And if things look too dangerous, we're getting the fuck out of Dodge. Alright? Sound right?
No, I didn't listen.
No?
Sorry. What direction do you want to go? Forward or right?
Thinking east. So, to
East,
the right.
okay. Yeah, east will do.
And if things look scary, we're leaving. Just to let you know, we're getting the fuck out of Dodge. I'm not staying.
You're gonna toss the grenade to the right. Okay. Just toss it all the way in.
I don't think so. I think I want to peek. I have a shield. I think I want to peek my head over. Because
You
I don't
remember,
know
we
if we
gave
should
them
waste
time
it.
now. We gave them time.
true, but
I have
they might
heavier
get
armor
shit
than you.
together.
No, I
Okay.
don't. No, wait. I ain't got heavier armor, do I?
I don't. I have a heavy helmet and heavy gambeson
Gamberson and a shield.
and a shield.
The same stuff as me, exactly. So,
Right. But you have the torch. Do you want to peek
True.
your head or do you want me to?
no, I would recommend you can go ahead.
Right.
Wait,
I
you
was
have
gonna
less
say-
health than me, though. I have 6 health.
Oh, yeah, you're going ahead.
Yeah.
Just peek your head. Don't go all the way. Just peek around, you know. Take a little look-see look. See what's down there. If you see anyone and anything goes off, we're throwing a grenade. With the sling, I think. Or not the sling.
We'll just throw the fucking thing again.
Yeah, we'll just throw it. Let's not break it.
God damn it. If we die now, it shall be blamed on your house.
You know, that's fair. That's fair.
Oddly enough, did you see how much fucking money I had?
No. How much money do you have? Gold?
Ekin, are you still here? Could you do us a favor and just scroll up on the menu?
I don't think he's here.
Okay, So in the bank, because I basically made a fucking bet. Um, I have 1,200 copper.
You're lying.
No. It
Can I get
used to be
reimbursed?
16. I have 16. I used to have 1,600 copper.
Right.
But I lost 400 to a character. And yeah.
Can I get reimbursed? If it goes well. If
If it goes
well,
well,
can I
I
get
think
reimbursed?
this will pay more for itself than anything.
True. Okay, if it goes well, we go 50-50.
No, what I think we should do is, at the very least, so Love's family get something out of it, is that we do a free share, like a free full share.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No, let's do four full shares, but the last share will be 2 half shares. So ZEUS gets a half share and Sparrow gets a half share. And
Okay.
then you get a full share, I get a full share, and Love's family get a full share.
Okay, so that's 4 shares. So far we have 100. You share that by 4.
So that's 25.
Oh wait, yeah, 25.
That's 25, but the half share would then, one would have to get 12 and the other would have to get 13.
That's fine. That's fine. I think we're gonna get more anyway. So by that means it won't be uneven, hopefully.
I mean, I could set up an Excel sheet for this.
No, we got it. No, we're good. Grenade and sleep spell. It's gonna go great. Fingers crossed. We have not been looking up. We have not been looking up. Have we? Uh-oh.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, your break is over, and we've got about an hour left to go, and we made very good progress within the first 2 hours. So let's hope we can continue and succeed with our next push through the dungeon, right? The plan is, after your crew has finished looting the position and hauling out the treasure, which was done by SPARROW and ZEUS, as Elsie and ODIN guarded and looted the copper that they could nearby, which the two of you managed to loot about half the copper. The other half is on the other side of the tunnel. So you looted about half of the copper, we'll say, or about a third actually, because the next 33 are here, the next 33 are further up. But yeah, you would carefully loot up maybe 33 of this copper. There's about 67 left there, and we got 33 outside, just piled outside for you guys for later. All right. Yeah. Without further ado, the party's ready to advance and continue exploring the cave. Right. You carefully made your way toward the end of the tunnel, toward the intersection, and from here you're able to observe that there is a tunnel that continues north into a corner up there. It looks like you can see a tunnel turning toward the east. The tunnel to the east continues at least 20 feet so far east. Which way would you like to proceed, north or east?
North.
I think we're gonna go north, but be very careful of east with shields up.
Shields up? Okay, so maybe one of you can cover while the others proceed along the west side of the pit, northward? Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So Elsie, you can provide cover, watch the east, in case you need to cast your spell or something. Well, you can't really cast with two things out, but yeah. You will just stand guard for now. ODIN will carefully advance with a torch, lighting the way for ZEUS and SPARROW, who carefully advance. And let's make sure that the east is clear of enemy positions. If not, we might take fire during the crossing. So let's check for enemies to the east. We know that some of them might have retreated toward the east. Okay, so That indicates no enemy contact to the east. However, we are coming into contact with a few enemies who retreated toward the north. Odin, as you carefully push up, you can hear them just around the corner. That indicates it's possible and changes to the east. As you're pushing up, you can clearly see the past markings or past map markings of mushrooms growing along the northwestern corners are still there and accurate to what is drawn on the map. And as you make your way for the north, you can hear and see the last few kobolds that chose to flee toward the north alcove, right, or this dead end up here in the tunnel, right. Along with that, some other minor changes are in this area. A special change. Let's check what that meant. Number 2. Okay, so that indicates. Let's see. Okay. All right. That indicates that there are some mushrooms also on the floor here. That's all that means. So mushrooms are growing on the floor here too. Let me indicate that. So this will be indicated here. So
Are they poisonous?
Yes.
Great.
okay. So mushrooms growing on the floor, mushrooms growing on the wall, and just around the mushrooms is where you see the last few kobolds who chose to flee toward the east. There was only about 3 kobolds there, east around that corner. So this will indicate their position. There's 3 of them over there, and their reaction to us as we round the corner is friendly, very friendly monster reaction there. I'll show you a reaction table.
Well, hello there, little buddy.
Enthusiastic friendship. So they plead for your mercy, basically, for your friendship. They say, so you're around the corner, let's see if any of them can speak your language. There's 25% chance each one can speak your language. So one does, the other 2 of them do, actually, surprisingly. So you carefully crossed. Elsie keeps her eyes to the east, right, guarding, protecting you guys as you cross over. Then she'll follow right after, right. And you want to move along the west, the area that they already cleared, or do you want to move north, northeast?
Can they understand us?
Yeah, 2 of them are speaking to us, so you're not there. So Odin, you pushed up, and while you like carefully advanced your team along the western wall north into their tunnel, approaching the mushrooms to some extent because you were exploring north, right? So you heard them kind of around the corner, just like 3 kobolds begging for their lives, like 2 of them, right? They're like, one says,
Human, wait, no kill,
right? Other one says like,
please, human, mercy,
right? So they are so scared, right? They're like whimpering,
human, please don't kill me.
right? What do you want to
say?
do or say?
You're getting good with these voices. I'll approach. Well, hello there, little buddy.
All right. There's mushrooms over the floor. You still want to approach?
If I could step around the mushrooms, I would.
Okay, sure. So you want to stick to the south side or the north side? The area is very narrow,
side.
so kobolds have no issues walking right through it, but because they're small. But you're a human, so you're bigger, right? You still want to give it a shot?
I'll take the wider path up there.
Path.
Yeah.
Okay. Carefully move through, right, as you respond to them. What do you want to tell them or do to them?
Hello there, buddies. What can I do you for?
And they react very enthusiastic to that, very friendly.
That's very good.
They say,
Human, let's be friend,
right?
no killing.
Right. The other one's just barking. the one that can't speak common.
No killing.
No more killing, human. Peace. Peace with us.
And what will you give us to not kill you?
We surrender, human. We friend. Help you.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's really good.
And then while that's happening, Elsie, at that point, did you want to regroup or you want to stand guard back there?
I'll still stay there.
Okay, keep watch to the east. And you are an elf, so you can see a little better in this dark condition. So out here in the dim lighting, you see normally. So everyone else, if they were down here, they would have a -1 penalty in combat because they can't see well. But you can see normally because you have night vision. Okay. So Odin, yeah, they want to be friends with you. You want to keep talking with them or something else? Zeus and Sparrow are just standing guard, watching you converse.
They're seeing me act like this with a fucking bunch of dogs. I'll approach one of the kobolds. The one closest to me up there. The northern one.
Okay,
Yes,
so you carefully
perfect.
approach him.
You surrender.
It nods. It's on
that
all
what you
fours,
said?
right? They kneel before you, right? Like dogs. They're scared.
Please, human.
Oh my
No kill.
God.
No kill.
This gotta be my best day ever.
The kobold to the south says,
Friendly. We be friendly.
Not for fucking long. I look at, since they're kneeling before me. No, get up.
okay. They get up for you.
Can't stop fucking I can't stop laughing. This is too fucking funny. I'll motion for them to that they can go like the other direction past us if they need to.
You release them? So they're, let's see.
No,
No,
not releasing them. I'm just motioning them so they can go near Sparrow, like that direction.
Okay. So
Like
you
towards
say
me.
you
They're
can
gonna stay
go.
with us.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. They react positively.
would-
They say,
yeah.
Human, we thank you.
right, and they give you their weapons before they leave. Right. You let them continue.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
So you get daggers and sling and stones. Right. They
Oh my god.
squeeze past the
These
mushrooms and walls.
adorable little dogs.
And they're just very confused that you're just letting them continue, right? Sparrow and Zeus are just watching, unsure of what's gonna happen next. And they continue south, right? They're like, we leave, peaceful.
Friend. Yes.
The other one that doesn't speak your language just continues to bark like.
Zeus.
You want to tell Zeus something?
1 second.
Okay, they're leaving. They think you released them, so they're gonna leave peacefully.
Right, so, I'm just gonna do something. I'm just gonna motion to Zeus, pointing at one of them, and basically motioning him to fucking shoot the thing.
Okay, so they're just peacefully leaving, walking off, right? Zeus nods,
Yeah.
makes a morale check to listen to you, passes, stays disciplined, and puts a stone in his sling, spins it, and then right, slings into the back of his head. You want Sparrow to do the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like,
Yeah, we'll go for it.
you kind of like look at Zeus and Sparrow as they look at you for orders. Elsie nods, you nod, right? You like, motion them to kill him, right? They take aim, and they're just quietly walking off, and to the backs of their heads, right? You light them up. So these two die, but the last one here is about to flee. But before you can flee, Elsie, you can stab him with your spear if you want.
Do it.
Can I stab him in his leg?
Okay, you don't want to kill him?
I don't
Alright.
want to kill him.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill him.
So you
I'm so
subdue him.
old, I don't want to kill him.
Alright, so
I
as
wanna
he's
harm him.
about to run off, right, he like hears his friends getting shot up from behind. He reacts, his reaction is friendly, actually. Friendly. He immediately surrenders.
Oh,
He like gets on his knees and says, "Please, no kill!" Right? And as he gets on his knees, do you still want to stab him? He like immediately surrenders, doesn't run.
I want him to take us further down. I want him to lead the way. We're
Okay.
gonna like nudge him along, get him to take us to where the rest of them are.
Okay.
Oh, that's evil.
So you
That's
tell him to
brilliant.
lead the way, right, to his lair.
Yeah.
Let's see. He agrees, of course. He's scared for his life. He says,
Okay, I lead you. I lead you. No kill, no kill. Woo!
right, and
I'm loving these voices.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah,
Kobold
all
is
of us are
scared
gonna
for
make
his
it
life.
back around, and we're gonna follow this fucker back to where the others are.
Yeah, he's
But
like-
I want. Can Odin come
to the
next
front.
to me?
Yeah.
Rather than Sarah? Yes,
Yeah.
please.
All right, lights the way up. The kobold, you know, blinded by the torchlight, he's like,
Follow me, follow me.
he carefully and slowly leads you eastward, right, across the dried blood-stained tunnel. He's scared for his life,
Is
right?
that,
Leads you
is
down
that
the tunnel.
slime still there?
I don't know.
The ceiling was covered in green slime last time. I don't think it's there anymore. And then, of course, as you proceed further east,
With the
into the next area,
kobold
it
in
was
front,
originally mapped out that this area was also covered in green slime. Unfortunately, it still is covered in green slime. So,
yeah.
the kobold says, of course, you have to sneak or squeeze past and sneak past the green slimes to get to the lair, right? He's like, you know, telling you, right? The green slime is dangerous. Like,
The slime is dangerous. Stay away from it.
and he
Well,
like
how about we
carefully.
test it?
So you see the green slime is in the center of the area, right? It's in the center of the
Mhm.
area, just dripping. So he leads you along the north side. So he says, like,
Okay.
follow, stay behind me, right? You can avoid the slime.
Oh my god, there was an entrance that way.
Okay. But yeah, this area is clear for the most part. Now, there is quite a bit of treasure in the center of the chamber if you're interested, but it's covered in green slime.
Alright, I'll put a torch to it.
It appears to be 400 copper pieces worth of weapons and armor. Or not weapons and armor. Let's see. Okay. It's not completely dissolved. Yeah, it's weapons and armor toward the northeast. Actually, it's not in the slime itself because it would already been dissolved. But on the other side of the slime, the opposite side, that's where you see armored weapons that weren't melted away completely. It's about 400 copper pieces worth of damaged armor and weapon supplies. Therefore, it's only half its value. So it's half of half. So it's 25% of its value. So basically, it's only 100 copper pieces worth of armor and weapons. On average, armor and weapons weighs 10-ish pounds maybe, or 5-ish pounds. So the armor and weapons over here weighs a total of, see again, it was 400 coppers worth. I'm going to say 400 coppers worth of armor and weapons weighs about 800 pounds. Yeah, so it's approximately 800 pounds actually. So it's 400 copper pieces worth of damaged, right? It's damaged due to corrosion, right? Like it was touched by slime. So 400 copper pieces worth of damaged armor and weapons, right? Weighing about 800 pounds, I think will be fair. No, wait, let's not do 800. Let's do, we'll just do 400 pounds, yeah. Weighing 400 pounds. So approximately 400 pounds worth, and it's weighing about 400 copper pieces. Weight-wise, it's kind of heavy because it's mostly armor, and then there are some weapons, right? Like the blades of various weapons and such. But the wood, the organic matter that's a lot weaker, has melted. It's mostly the metal components that were left behind, right?
I don't think we need it. I think we're just gonna skip it unless Gold wants to stop. I want to go ahead.
And lastly, when it comes to treasure, if there's any, actually.
Oh
Okay, there's no treasure, sadly. There's only armor and weapons up there. But the kobold leads you past this area. The kobolds did not find it valuable either, so they didn't take it either. Let's see. It's just melted pieces of armor and weapons that they can't usually wear anyway or use. But they lead you.
This place is magnificent.
Grenade.
This next tunnel is mostly clear. There is a special here, special feature about this tunnel.
Oh.
Oh god.
Okay.
Last
And
time was arrows in the wall.
Alright.
That happened last time.
So the only special feature here is that the door up here was originally mapped out to be a burned wooden door frame. It's no longer a burned wooden door frame. It's now a newly constructed and repaired door. So it's been replaced, right, by a new door.
These dogs are good at their job.
So they made a new door, right? So just this door is not made of wood this time though. It's a stone door, right? So they just carved out a piece of stone, put it in the way, built some hinges, right, and then attached it to the wall, nailed it in, right? So you've got like a stone slab door, right? It's a very heavy looking door. So stone door, okay. So I got a stone door up here. Okay, why is this so small? Let's see. There we go. All right. Stone door. Oh, there we go. All right. He leads you up to the door and says to your group,
This way to the kobold lair.
right.
Can I speak to him?
Yeah, what do you want to say?
Can I ask him if there's anyone inside?
He nods and says yes, right.
How many? Oh, am I able to figure that out?
Yeah, you can ask him. He says, let's see, kobold lair. Typically, a kobold lair has. So past this door, you're gonna approach a garrison, right, of kobolds. So a kobold lair number. So it's in level 1, typically 12 to 120. So, and a lair of kobolds.
Oh yeah, get that fucking grenade going, yeah.
We'll see.
And the sleep spell, because ain't no way.
The lair will consist of. He tells you that the lair consists, in this case, about 6 to 60 soldiers and 6 to 60, or no, 12 to. When it comes to civilians, the civilians live in the lair too. So there would be 12 to 120 civilians, which are actually weaker than the average kobold soldier. So they're extremely weak, right? This includes women, elders, and children kobolds, right? So there's 12 to 120 civilian kobolds past this area, or past this door, as you approach. Garrison of 12 to 120 civilian kobolds. So, rough idea. We'll get a rough idea on the table. So that's 6. Okay, so there's about 26 soldiers defending the lair, not including the chieftain and his guardsmen, right? Which are even stronger kobolds. Again, 26 kobolds that defend the actual lair. So that's not a lot at all. It's about another 2,000, right? So it's not an outpost. It's a garrison. It's a little stronger than an outpost. You defeated a kobold outpost, basically, like a patrol, right? A camp. But now you're entering the lair, right? Their base. So the base only has 26 kobolds defending it, and then of course a total of 31 like women or elderly kobolds, and then children as well. So it's about a total of 61 civilian kobolds. So 61 kobold civies, right? So kob civs, I guess. So that's like women, children, elderly, right? Combined. So past this point,
we're gonna have a fucking party tonight.
but he tells you that this stone door is one of the last defenses to approach the lair, right? The door is locked, barred, and possibly booby-trapped, he tells you, right? So he led you to it, and that's all he can do. He's not allowed to open it himself, right? This is a fortified door to the kobold lair. So he can't open it. You can have him try, but he'll probably die in the process. He's just a mere kobold soldier, right? He's not allowed back unless they allow him to come back.
can I tell him that he needs to convince them that they need more soldiers because there's a big troop coming? Could that work? Could we try and play on like that? Get them to rush to the door, maybe?
I have a better idea.
Go ahead.
There's another outpost he tells you nearby. It's to the east if you want to go to the next outpost, right? So this is the lair, but there's another outpost if you want to attack an outpost.
I think we...
What about we just take what we have and get the fuck out of here?
So if
Okay,
you want to go
but
against
what
the
if
same size as you already
try-
faced, that's an outpost. You can take it to the next one.
Gold, what if we just try to see if he can open the door? If he can open the door, I'm down to throw a grenade at them.
He can't open the door.
Yeah, he's not allowed to
No,
open
but
it.
Just sit.
so.
The
like,
kobolds.
Not him open the door, I mean like, see if he can get them to open the door.
Oh,
Do you know what
convince
I'm
them.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, try and convince them to open the door if he, like, we make him... Yeah, if we try to make him convince them, then we could throw a grenade.
Alright. In the meantime, Zeus and Sparrow report that they've been hearing things to the far southeast of the chamber, right? There could be other enemies in the area, right? The far southeast.
Bring the kobold over.
The kobold reports to you that that area is where that area leads to the other outpost, right? So it leads to
We
the
know, that's
eastern
why-
kobold
That's
cave.
why we have you, little fellow, go in front. Come on.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that then. Yeah, we'll let him go in front.
Okay. In that case, he'll carefully lead the way toward the south then. So just carefully squeeze past these two. And you guys can snake it,
Right.
follow him. But typically
Yeah, we
that
snake
as
it.
long as you don't, or as long as you avoid the center of the chamber, it's fine. The slimes don't really attack until you're in the center. So it's covered in green slime in the center area.
Can we switch up the thing and make Sparrow go back a bit so that we can go in front? Like, no, I mean Sparrow go back towards where we came from.
Right.
To the left.
So Elsie
Yeah.
and Odin can take the lead.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, he leads you to the next area, which is a pole barricade. It's a barricade made out of 10-foot poles. 44 10-foot poles have been tied together to create a pole barricade that blocks off the side tunnel. And it tells you it leads out to another kobold outpost, basically. It's like, you know, in kobold language, or in common language, actually, because this one's one of the ones that spoke common. He's been speaking common to you. He's like,
Human, listen. This lead to Kobold outpost, Kobold camp.
Okay, Gold has to leave. So I think we're gonna start heading back. I do have another question though. Can I take him hostage? Like, take him back with
Yeah,
us?
we
Yeah,
can
you
take
can
him with
capture him.
us as a hostage or sell him to slavery.
like,
That's no issue.
No, I don't want to sell him. I want to keep him for when we go back.
yeah, as long as you have something to restrain him with. You have rope on you. You can only take prisoners if you have like
I mean, wasn't there a giant looting case just earlier in the hallway?
oh yeah,
We can
equipment
just take some
supplies. Yep, there's
rope
rope
from
there
there.
too. You can get the rope from there.
Yeah.
We'll do that then. I wanna take him and look after him back in town.
All right, so you've got one captured enemy, right? A kobold prisoner in your team. Let's see. All right. So you'll grab a rope.
We're coming back.
It would cost 1 copper out of this kobold gear, right? It's 400 copper.
Oh my
piece.
god, 1 copper.
So it's 399 left.
Can I also take a sling with some stones? Is that possible? Because I mean, we're not really taking it back, are we?
Yeah, you want to take a sling and pouch of stones?
Yeah, a sling and some stones, please, and Sparrow to have a dagger. That should be good enough.
Okay, sure. So Sparrow will have a sidearm now, a dagger, right? Aside from his bow and arrow. Sheath, dagger, and you own a sling, pouch, and stones, which is a one-handed missile weapon. Can be used with a shield. So one of the few one-handed missiles. Let's see. Sling, pouch, stones. Alright. And then with that, Actually, we'll say that this doesn't weigh 2,000 pounds. That's a little excessive. It's 300 or 393. I think that it'll weigh maybe 3 pounds on average. So roughly 1,200 pounds worth of gear right there. If you guys have like carts and wagons, that can account for carrying out the loot. But you don't have that right now, so you can't really hold that loot back. You're able to hold the copper pieces. That's easy. The copper pieces, 100 copper pieces weighs about 1 pound. So easily picked up 100 pieces, or I think it's 10 pieces actually. Let me double check. I think it's 100. Yeah, 100 pieces. Either 100 or 10 pieces weigh 1 pound. I'll double check though. It says it's a currency and house rules, I think. Any 10 pieces weigh 1 pound. Okay, yeah. So this weighs 6.7 pounds for the copper pieces that you picked up. Right, so you picked up 6.7 pounds worth of copper pieces. You march on out. You've got all this loot. So good job. We're about to hit 2 hours and 30 minutes, so we still got plenty of time to celebrate and to, of course, enjoy the spoils you gained from this. But let's go into post game and calculate your loot real quick, so we can continue further. So
we already did some of it. We want 4 shares. 1 for Odin, 1 for Lana, Elsie, I think. 1 to be split down the middle, so 2 half shares. So ZEUS and SPARROW get 1, and the last share shall go to the house that sadly died.
Right, so they both get a half share too. So POLMAK and BERIM. So
yeah.
All right, so yeah, 4 half shares, 2 full shares, right? Basically. Okay.
So 25% of whatever we originally got.
Is for each share. Okay. So basically,
Can you make a note on my character that I have a kidnapped kobold?
Yeah.
Just so we don't forget. I probably will.
Yep.
You have a kidnapped kobold. What's his name? Fred. No, my name is Steven. Shut up.
All right. In your inventory now, you've got a 50-foot rope that's being used to, of course, secure your prisoner. So we'll just note it in your notes. So you've got a roped kobold prisoner who you have to drag around, right?
That's fine.
All right. And total enemies killed today, 18 kobolds, right? Plus the other 2 from later, and then captured 1, so it's 20 dead kobolds, right?
Oh yeah.
20 dead kobolds. Some of them got away, unfortunately. So initially we killed 17. Yeah, we killed 17 in the beginning. Then they fled. We killed another 2, so it went to 19 actually. And then we killed another 2, so it's 21. Yeah, so it should be 21 dead kobolds. 1 captured. It's 22.
Yeah, and then 1. Wait, no, but we killed all of them except for 1.
Yeah.
And there was 23.
Okay, wait.
So,
So
20 dead?
there was 23 to start. We killed 1 that snuck up to the corpses. And then we killed another 16 with a grenade. We killed 2 who tried to flee. And the others fled. And then out of the others that fled, 1 fled east, 1 fled, the others fled north. So
Oh, one got away.
yeah, one might have gotten away. So let's see. Because we found 3 in the north alcove area. We killed 2 of those.
Okay, but where did he go? Where did he go then? Because
He went behind the
once I
pole
was walking
barricade,
up-
more than likely. So
Oh.
you can move it.
Okay,
It's a
fine.
door. So or a barricade.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the 44 10-foot pole barricade, it's just a barricade. You can move it. It's just made out of 10-foot poles.
Right.
The party made it, I think. Yeah, another different party made that out of their 10-foot poles that they found. So
Okay, perfect.
yeah, originally there was a cage in the chamber. A cage trap. They broke it apart. It was consisting of 10-foot poles, wooden poles, and they created a barricade out of it instead and blocked off the eastern tunnel, so they didn't have to worry about it. But that's where other kobolds were approaching from. they would often get attacked from two different flanks, the north and the east. But now it's, you know, I mean, we just clear the cave, and with that, reporting back to base. Of course, soldiers will move in to secure those positions so that next time you can continue your progress from where you left off. As long as you continue to campaign here, if you give up the position and move on to other places, then of course eventually those positions will again be lost, right? That seems to be the trend. So it's up to the next group to continue where you left off, or to unfortunately move on to other places as usual. So and of course hinder progress. But you guys made a lot of good progress today. Again, we killed, out of the 23, 21 captured 1 and 1 fled. So 21 dead kobolds, 33 copper pieces, or total of 100 copper pieces looted. You looted all 100, we'll say, right? So the 67 in that tunnel, you looted it too, right? Just picked up all the last 67 coppers out of those pouches in there, and then so that's 100 coppers for just copper piece loot. We didn't take any of the armor, right? We left the armor and weapons in the slime area. Okay, so every kobold that you killed gives you half XP. So 21 kobolds killed gives you a total of 10 XP.
10.5.
Yeah, it rounds down. So 10 XP. You get full money though. So when it comes to kobold money, each one, their bounty is worth 10 coppers during this wartime period. So double bounties. Typically they're only worth 5. And because we're at war with them, it's 10 right now. So that's 210 coppers for killing the kobolds. On top of that, they all had loot that you sold. You picked up their loot, their weapons, and weapons weren't very heavy. Their weapons weighed about 3 pounds each, or 3 pounds total, and sold for about 2.5 or 3 coppers each. So on average, for each 2 kobolds, it's about 5 coppers total. So 21 times, 21 times 2.5 is the same as about 10 times 5. So 50 additional coppers, 52 additional coppers, 52 additional copper pieces for selling their loot. That includes just the weapons and mundane gear that they had that you could pick up easily and carry back to sell. Those were 3 pounds each, and 3 pounds of loot times 21 kobolds is about 64 pounds, which could have been bagged up by your guys' backpacks, pouches, and such, which you guys had a decent amount of. You had 2 backpacks in your team, I think, which can account for at least, because the backpacks did have gear in them, but not a lot. So backpacks accounted for at least 60 pounds each of gear. And then you had some sacks too, which accounted for maybe 10 pounds of gear. So plenty of space to carry the kobold loot. Alright, now we can add it all up and start dividing it. Also, the treasure itself gives you 1 XP. So the copper pieces you hold out gives you 1 XP, because that's treasure. So, alright, so 1 more XP. So in total, the XP came out to be, so I'll do the total at the bottom. So total came out to be 11 XP. And then of course, for the money, went up to 200 and, let's see, 210 plus 100, 310, 362. 362.
Yeah. Split between 4 people.
Yeah.
And then Sparrow and Zeus is half.
Alright, let me do some math real quick. So 362 divided by 6 equals 60. So Odin and Elsie get 120 each because they got full shares. Whereas the half shares get 60. And if every share was 60, 60 times 6 is 360. So it'd be a remaining of 2 coppers, which can go to Elsie since she paid extra for this one, right? So let's see. So Elsie, you can get 122 then, since you just wanted an equal share with Odin, right? But you get the remainder, which gives you an extra 2. And then I think it was mostly because of Elsie we got all those kills earlier, so she should get a good chunk of XP at least to make up for the 44 coppers that she spent on winning that battle, right? Or at least 22 coppers was spent winning the battle because the other grenade wasn't tossed. So So she technically only spent 22 to win the battle. So when it comes to XP
What
split,
I think should happen is she pays that off, and whatever money we have left, we split it.
I think mainly the XP should go to me and Gold.
yeah.
To
So
be fair, I think we should just go half down the middle for both of us.
everyone else is getting 60 copper pieces. That's ZEUS, SPARROW, POLMAK, BERIM. You're getting 122. He's getting 120. Are we okay with that?
Yeah.
So the money's been equally split now.
Absolutely, yes.
When it comes to XP though, we'll do how's 1 XP for every character except you two. You guys will split the XP differently. So if that's the case, these guys get 1 XP each, which accounts for 4. So there's 7 left, and then Elsie you might get 4, and Odin gets 3. Is that fair or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we'll do that then.
So let me pay you guys out real quick. So go down the list to make sure you all get your pay. So Odin received 3 XP for this run. It's really good for a level 1 delve. And then of course your payment today was 120 coppers, 120 days of pay. Right, good haul. For ZEUS the third, he received of course 1 XP today. He's got a little experience under his belt now after this one, and his payment was 60 coppers. For Elsie, her payment today was 4 XP, right? So you're at 5 of the 40 you need to level up as an elf. And then of course coppers, you have 122. For SPARROW, he received 1 XP out of the 20 he needs to level. And then coppers, he received 60. Right. For
Wait,
BERIM,
how comes I need 40 to level up?
elves need the most. They're a dual class fighter magic user. So
Okay.
yeah, every class has a different XP advancement rate. So elves are the slowest to advance because they're the most advanced class in the game. So
Okay, that makes sense.
we'll see. BERIM gets 60 coppers, right? Which will be passed on to his next of kin. You guys looted his gear, brought it back for his family, right? Brought his corpse back to be buried back in town. So status, of course, killed by kobolds and buried and down, which indicates that his loot can be inherited, right? And also anything he was paid will be inherited as well. Same with POLMAK, inherited or gained 60 from this run. So let's see. Alright, this note can go away because he paid him. Alright, and then 60 coppers on him, 1 XP. Same status, killed by kobolds, buried and down. Due to a good team. We'll see. Paid out what he's due.
Hey, Ethan,
What's up?
do me a favor, bet all the money I just got.
You sure?
Yeah.
Let me show you the wrist first before you take on the bet, okay? So your chances. You want to
I had
gamble?
a really good run.
Yeah, you guys had a really good run tonight. That was one of the best runs we've had in a while. Thanks to, honestly, thanks to you, Lana. You might have saved our team today, or you were the MVP.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
Right,
So,
bye guys. Thank
have a
you
good
so
night.
much.
You're gonna head out? Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Okay, all good. Yeah, good night. Okay. So, to wrap it up, we're going to post game now. So after the adventure, what your character do in between adventures, and Odin, to celebrate, you went out gambling tonight. You wanted to bet all your money. Here are your odds. Alright, so are you okay with these odds?
Not all of my money, but the money I just got.
Okay, so the 120 you just got?
Yeah, the 120.
Okay. So roll 2d6. Are you sure you're okay with these odds? This is the current odds at the gambling den. It's a high chance to lose, but if you win, you get double your money.
What? Hang on a second. Why is it saying minus 50% at a 9? Did you change the fucking odds?
It changes all the time. So this is the current lottery, right?
So either I lose all of my money, or I have a 2 out of 12 chance to get double my money.
Right. Snake eyes. on a 1-1 or a 6-6, you double all your money. Everything else, you just
I'm
lose the
still
money you bet.
tempted, but now I don't want.
You want to bet less than 120? Maybe start with 60?
Well, no, I'm not gonna bid at all because it's just stupid. Because it's stupid.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna win.
It's supposed to be
You put
against
the
you.
odds against me.
It is, yeah. It is against you. It's gambling, right? It's trying to take
And
your money.
we're not talking a little against me. You're saying like full on fuck you numbers.
Yeah, they're really hard numbers. I mean, that's just how it usually is anyway, right? So you're gonna lose a bunch.
No,
and then you're
because I
finally
can
gonna win.
cheat in poker.
True, I suppose, right? These are your chances currently at the current gambling den. So if you don't like
I
them,
won't gamble
you don't
this
have to
time.
gamble this time. Yeah, it's all good. All right. So yeah, these are a few free time activities you can try to use if you want. Romanticize your tales, right? So tell stories, war stories, so socializing, and gambling are a few things that you can do in between adventures. You don't have to do any of it. You can also just not. You can do other things, of course, or beneficial things. But yeah, gambling right now, that's the current odds for auto gamble.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go. I have a bus to catch
All good,
and a
brother.
job to do. I might join you on my job, but then you'll be rolling all of my things for me.
All right. Have a good day. Yeah, there might be another game tonight, so I'll see you then.
See ya.
Take care, brother. And thanks for playing low. Have a good night, guys.